Good morning, y'all. It's your girl Charnel, and I thought it'd be cool to do a video where I take you along what it looks like for me to be intentional with my self-care. I've spoken a lot about burnout, and I really do not want to get to that point this year. I don't want to be in like survival mode when it comes to like my business. I want to be in like just thriving mode, because I have the capacity, I have the resources to be in thriving, but I feel like I'm just so used to like wanting more and doing more and seeing things be productive or all that kind of stuff that leads me to going back into that survival mode. So this year we are going from survival to thriving, okay? Surviving to thriving. And the way that I'm doing that, again, is being more intentional with my self-care. And something that I found to be super helpful is actually planning things out and scheduling them in my calendar, booking all these appointments ahead of time, so when the time comes, it's harder for me to come up with an excuse to not do something, right? And I could plan around all of my self-care versus planning my life out and then implementing self-care whenever I feel, oh, I have time. Which, again, if I fill my calendar with other things, I'm not gonna have time for that self-care. So this is me being more intentional. And I realize sometimes, I don't know, but I think this is a common experience where sometimes we might act very helpless. Like, for example, me doing my hair. It's like for the past 2 weeks I've been looking like a corrupt online because I'm like, oh my god, like I'm just waiting for my hair to get done, versus like, Chanel, you can brush up your hair, you could slick down your edges, you could put in a cute bun. Like, what are you doing, right? So I'm trying to be like, come from that mindset of just, girl, like take care of yourself. Like, I love myself, and the way that, again, I take care of my parents or whatnot doesn't reflect how much I actually love myself. So I'm trying to just be a bit more intentional with that. But anyways, the first thing that we're gonna do for self-care this weekend is go to Pilates. So I will see y'all there. Oh my gosh, Pilates was so intense today. The usual instructor that I have wasn't here, and I was excited because last time I was kind of disappointed by the class. I didn't feel like I got that good of a workout. Girl, today was the complete opposite extreme. Like, this girl was going hard, and I tried to get footage, but I got like, the area that I was in, the lighting just wasn't the best. And I noticed that when I was recording, the instructor didn't necessarily want to be in the camera because she wouldn't necessarily come over and like instruct me on how to do certain things. So I stopped recording and really got like such an amazing workout in. And what I learned today from Pilates is that the smaller the movements and the slower you go, the more benefit you're going to get from Pilates. So that was something new I learned. Again, this instructor seems like she teaches more advanced Pilates, and I think she actually does, and you could just tell, but she had to like literally physically touch a lot of us and help us maneuver in some of the positions, because just the explanation and all that kind of stuff I felt was for like people that were a bit more advanced. And like the movements we even did today, I was just like, what kind of contraption is this? But I really enjoyed today's class. I had fun. One of my friends also came and she loves it, so she's gonna stick with it on a weekly basis as well. We might still have to end up going to different classes because she prefers the earlier options. But yeah, good session. I'm gonna head out now to Lululemon. I wanted to actually stop there before, but I just didn't have enough time. I had a meeting earlier this morning. So I'm going to head to Lululemon, see if I could get a couple new fits. And yeah. It is the next day and we are going to start our day off with some more movement. Yesterday after my Pilates class, I'm kind of actually feeling a bit sore today. But yesterday after my Pilates class, my mood just kind of like shifted. And the reason why is because I just got an email in regards to my business, and it was just an unexpected email. And I don't know if you guys believe in astrology, but I'm a Cancer and I'm very emotional, and so like I feel everything, and so I just need to give myself some time to like process. And one of the things being in business that I experience is like my emotions just go up and down. Like anything can happen at the drop of the hat. Something could change. People could change your mind. Like I'll leave this for another video, but yeah, it was just I needed some time, and I guess part of my self-care was giving myself some time to just be in that space. But I literally said, okay, you got like an hour and a half, ma'am, to get it together. And then I really talked myself through it. What my next steps were going to be, engage in problem solving, and then I was good. But yeah, so today is another day. I feel good. I'm gonna actually just journal a bit about everything that just went through my mind. I'm gonna journal, make some breakfast, and then I'm gonna head out to a boot camp type class. So it's gonna be really endurance based. This is my first time. I used to run my own boot camps and I used to love them. Like they were intense. And if you're here on my YouTube from way back, you would have seen some. I'll include some footage here. But to be completely honest, I'm gonna go to my first boot camp run by someone else in a very long time. The same friend that came with me to my Pilates class yesterday, I'm going with her to her boot camp class. So that should be good. And I'm gonna try and take you guys along. I'll see how much footage I could get. Because it is circuit training, it might be a bit more difficult to like carry you as I'm doing everything, because I really do want to focus on getting a good workout in, but we will see. Other than that, yeah, I'm just gonna journal, give my mind a rest, process kind of more of my thoughts and my feelings, and then we're gonna head on the road. Now that that's done, I am gonna eat some breakfast and then we're gonna head off. I want to know what gives you the most energy or grounds you the most. I know for myself, I've always kind of been an athlete from childhood, and then when I went to university in my undergrad, I ended up gaining quite a bit of weight. That freshman 15 was more like a freshman 30. And I met this guy as part of like I was doing this Fashion for Change. So it was like this fashion fundraiser where we would do dances, we would model, and it was like to fundraise money for change. And so I met this guy as he was part of like Fashion for Change as well, and he was into fitness, and he really helped me like actually just begin weight training. That's where I started my heavy lifting. That's where like I was like, whoa, like I'm super strong. That's when I got into the idea of personal training. Personal training is actually, I started my own personal training business, and that's what got me through my master's program, helped me pay for that. And so fitness has always been a part of my life. And honestly, since I started like really adulting, like living with my husband and like having to pay for our mortgage and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of been on and off. However, it's always been something that makes me feel good, makes me feel my best. And that's also been a way for me to like regulate my emotions. Like when I would be like upset or frustrated or like stressed out with all the things that I was doing, all the hats that I was wearing, I remember my mom would be like, go to the gym. Because she even knew like, hey, that's what really helped regulate me. And so as I'm again growing my group practice and I'm experiencing so many different emotions with my practice and like changes that happen in the business and dealing with things day to day, I found that again, fitness has been really helpful in grounding me. And so it's definitely just been a huge part of my self care and getting like all the anxious like jitters and like concerns and stuff out of my body into like just my workout has been so helpful. So I'm really looking forward to this class today. Um, and yeah, I just wanted to know like, what do you guys do? What do you feel like grounds you a lot? What keeps you grounded, feeling the most sane, and helps you like get back to like feeling like yourself, getting those anxiety or overwhelming feelings out? What is that for you? Because I feel like everyone has so many different ways of dealing with things. And again, working out is one of those things for me. And the bonus with that is that I really care about my body. I really care about this vessel. I take care of it to the best of my ability. And of course, sometimes we can get off track, like during the holidays. But my body is super important for me. It does everything for me. It enables me to live a healthy life and enables me to do things that I'm able to do like very easily. And so I want to take care of it. And so that's an additional bonus for having working out or exercise or fitness as like one of my go-to self-care things. Honestly, y'all, that class was so intense. One thing I love about this group fitness class is that honestly everyone was so nice. Like people would come up to me, they're like, hey, what's your name? And then when I'm in the circuit, like, oh, my battery's dying, they would cheer me on, and it's like people actually remember my name. But being in a group fitness class, especially one that's so intense, it can be difficult, especially if you're new. because I have certain injuries that I have to be cognizant of, and because I'm familiar with fitness, it's a bit easier for me to be cognizant of how to modify a workout. But even still, I need some assistance. And so I think that was the only challenging, and it was like disheartening for me, to be completely honest. When it was like, man, I really want to do this workout, I really want to push, but I can't, just because I know I'm going to make this injury worse. And I think this is part of having such a sedentary lifestyle, where like I'm on the computer all day, my muscles are tight, and I'm not able to move as much. So when I just jump into doing such intense exercise, it's a cause for disaster. But anyways, my battery has to charge, so I'm going to talk to you all a bit more once I get home. So coming home, I actually had a meeting. The boot camp started late, so as soon as I got home, I had a meeting with uh, my intern. I had to keep practicing with her and kind of just give her some feedback. And then I did all this off screen because I had to charge my battery. But after that, I had so much energy, still so much energy. I ate food to, help repair my muscles. And then I cleaned the bathrooms. And I just took a shower. And now here we are. So I'm just putting on some serum. I think I'm going to stay in for the rest of the day. I actually do have to get some items, but I'm just going to make the list and then go out probably tomorrow. We'll see. But I also just love taking care of my body and my skin. I think also watching other people do it on YouTube has been helpful as well. Just like my mom has always loved taking care of her skin and her 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 face, her body. But I think just watching, I guess, women do it on YouTube, and sometimes even just playing them doing their own skincare while you're doing your own, I find that a bit more like motivating and like, yeah, I should do this too. It feels good. And I've had to be a bit more intentional about this, no, a lot more intentional about this, since again, my skin has just kind of flared up. Thankfully, working with my naturopath, honestly, I think my husband's the one that figured it out, but we've been able to get to the bottom of what has really been causing my skin issues. And although I have like a lot of dark marks still on my face, like these are just hyperpigmentation, post acne marks, my skin has improved drastically. As in, like, the amount of breakouts have decreased that I experience, and like I just don't have like fine bumps all over my face anymore, which makes me feel really good, makes makeup look a bit better, even though I rarely wear makeup. But I feel better about my skin, and you can tell because I've been showing up here on YouTube without makeup. I'm just like, you know what? I don't care if anyone wants to judge. This is real life. This is what it is for me right now. And I think I was just really nervous about being on YouTube with my skin like this because I've always had like clear skin, except for like in high school. Throughout my adulthood, I've had such clear skin. So it was a lot to go from clear skin to just hyperpigmentation everywhere. But yes, that's where we are now. This is why I can't do two things at once because I'm like, what did I just put on? I put on my serum and I guess I just moisturized. But yeah, so part of my skincare, it just feels so good to invest in my skincare, and I'm gonna lotion up my body after, and I'll show you what I use. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna grab it. So in the winter, I use a mix of two things. I use this Cocoa Radiant lotion. I don't know if I feel like I want to switch this out, not because anything's like wrong with it. It actually hydrates my body well, but just in terms of the ingredients in it, it's just not the healthiest. And then I have this completely healthy body oil from Osea or OC, however they choose to pronounce it. And I absolutely love it. So I just mix these two and it just makes a nice moisturizing, has like a nice moisturizing feel on my body and scent as well. So that's kind of what I do. And that's pretty much my self-care for today. Obviously, the eating part was part of my self-care, but I think I'm going to chill for the rest of the day. I actually have work. I'm not going to chill. I'm going to do some work, but I'm happy that I was really able to just give in to myself, love on myself, take care of myself, put myself first, and then now we're going to get some work done and then chill for the rest of the night. And then I'll be back tomorrow to show you what I'm going to do for my intentional self-care then. And we'll most likely wrap up the video then. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we might lead into Monday because I do have some more intentional self-care happening on that day as well. So thanks for chilling with me today, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. My body is so sore from this weekend's workout. Have y'all heard of DOMS? DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness? Yeah, that's currently what I'm feeling. My muscles are so tight, so I'm gonna have to roll out today. I didn't record it all yesterday. Part of my self-care yesterday, I guess, was just to like do nothing. Sundays is I've been trying to incorporate this since last year, where Sundays I just don't do any work. It's literally the time for me to shut my brain off and just chill. I usually spend time with my family, go over to my parents' house, all the family gets together as well. So Sundays are like literally my days off. But I find that I'm getting back to that space when I used to work the 9 to 5, where Sunday nights would come and I'm getting a bit anxious for the Monday, even though I don't see clients on Mondays. So I need to figure that out. But this morning I had therapy, and this is why I love virtual therapy, why I also offer virtual therapy, because you just get to be in the comfort of your own space. I had my session sitting here in my bed, talking to my therapist, and it just feels so good to be, again, in the comfort of your own space, not have to leave anywhere, rush to get anywhere, and you can still just talk through things. Um, but I started therapy for the first time when I actually started my private practice. And the reason why was because I really wanted to just know what it was like to be on the other side of being a therapist, like being someone who's seeking therapy from the private practice point of view. And that also gave me insight on my business. And also, I was just going through transitions in regards to, again, starting my private practice and all that kind of stuff. And so I wanted to process that. And so I returned to therapy, I believe, the end of last year when I started growing to my group practice. Because, as I mentioned to you all, that I was just experiencing a lot of burnout, and there's just like a lot of like mental blocks that were coming up for me and things that I wanted to work through and like stressors that were coming up. And so seeing my therapist like once a month, I think I've been seeing her, has been helpful in kind of just keeping me in check and keeping me grounded. And as y'all just saw, after all of my therapy sessions, I'm always just writing things out and processing and reflecting on the information that I received and spoke through in my session so that it can be further cemented in my mind and help me move forward. And so therapy has always just been really good for me in that regard. And it's also so good for me to see what it's like again to be someone seeking therapy, because it just gives me more insight about how validating and helpful therapy can actually be. And therapy has been one thing that I do for my self care to take care of my mental and also just to take care of me overall and how I navigate in this world. It just gives me such insight, and yeah, it just really helps me kind of keep grounded, and it's validating, it's reassuring. And again, for my therapist to kind of see the progress from like, hey, this is where I was before starting my practice or my starting before growing my group practice. And she's like, yo, Chanel, like, it's it. You're like in it. Like, you're doing exactly what we were like fearful of or um, concerned about how things are going to work out a few months ago, and here you are in it, like going through that process. And so just getting that check has been really helpful for me too. But um yeah, therapy is like a good thing. If you guys don't do therapy, I highly encourage it. It might take some time to find your ideal therapist. The way that I found my therapist was by asking around. So I try to find one on my own, and the experience just wasn't the best. There was just like a disconnect. So I asked a couple friends to see who they went to go see, who they went and saw, and then I chose my therapist that way. And honestly, I was terrified kind of to also find a therapist because as a therapist, it's like you have this idea that you should have everything together, which I do think that I do have a lot of stuff together, thankfully. But we're human and there's still things that all of us need to work through and process and kind of get another opinion that is not uh, influenced by people knowing us or people just being biased. Like if I have the same conversation with my husband, he's going to be biased towards me, of course. Like he's going to be favor my side. So just having someone, a third party that should not be biased, has also just been helpful. So I highly encourage it. It's worth it, and it could just again be really helpful in getting from that place of like survival mode to like I'm in now a thriving mode. But yeah. So I think today's going to be the last day that I record my self-care as it's Monday. Start seeing clients again tomorrow. Not to say that we don't do self-care every day, but there are a few things that I have to get done today to fill up my cup before I start seeing clients. And so I will take you all along with me as I do those things. First thing today was journaling. No, first thing today was therapy, then was journaling, and then we're going to do a few other things. So I'll take y'all along. All right, so I've been sitting here for the past like hour, like actually editing this video instead of doing other tasks on my list. So I'm recognizing this video is getting a bit long, so I'm just gonna cut the video here. Thank you guys for spending the weekend with me, doing some self-care. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss an upload, and comment below and let me know, do you like these self-care kind of videos? Do you want to see more self-care because we are being more intentional with that so we're not getting burnt out? Being a therapist is not only about being a therapist, it's about also being a human being, and self-care is part of being a human being. So comment below, let me know if you're interested in seeing more of these videos. Otherwise, I hope you'll have a great day. I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!